Welcome explorers, great to see you back for another video. I'm Alistair and this is the Highland Hikers. So thank you for joining me for what is essentially part 2 of this long walk along the River Clyde from the kind of most easterly point in Glasgow City Council boundary area to the most westerly point. I think if you've watched the last one, there's not a huge amount to see at that part, but I'm much more looking forward to this section as there's a ton of stuff to see along here. Starting off at the Glasgow Science Centre and the Glasgow Science Centre tower behind me. That kind of big thing that has never worked really at all, and I don't think anybody I've ever met has ever been up there, but maybe one day we'll all get to go up and get a great view from up the top. But if you do ever get up there, I'm pretty sure the views are going to be pretty great across the city. I'll put some drone footage in just now, just so you can get an idea of what that might look like. But from here, I'm going to head down the kind of south bank of the Clyde a wee bit. Go a kind of different route. Normally you would go across the kind of north bank, that's where the main cycle route is, and it's probably a wee bit more scenic, but I'm going to try and stick to the south side for a wee bit. I'd like to go underground for a wee bit, before kind of joining the back up to the national cycle route again and head along there, where we're going to see quite a bit of dismantled railway infrastructure. There's a kind of big old railway line that ran down there, which was taken away as part of the beaching cuts I mentioned again in the last video. So we'll see a lot of kind of infrastructure dotted about the place, which I find quite interesting. Hopefully you guys will too. And what we're going to do is we're going to end with the Titan. So bear with us, stick with me, and you'll get to see what that is. So we'll crack on from here and we'll go and pop round and see some of what the River Clyde is famous for, and some of the old kind of shipbuilding yards that once scattered all the way along this river. So I've walked round to the Govan graven docks, which pretty much live in the shadows of the Science Centre and the Science Centre tower behind me here. These were built in like about 1869 to 1875 I think, and just kind of wonder how many ships have been built in these docks, how many have been repaired in here, and it's, you know, they just lie empty. It's pretty sad. These docks have been subject of numerous restoration projects, none of which seem to get absolutely anywhere, as you can see from behind me. There's no development being done in here in years. The fencing put up around it is just slowly deteriorating, and you know, there's not much left to see. There's a nice big old pump house over here. Hopefully you can see that, yeah, just over there. Which you can pretty much walk in because the fence is falling down over there, but it's quite a wee bit spooky. I don't know if you've got any big fear of deep water. I'm kind of wondering how deep that bit is down there. It's big, dark and murky. Anyway, on to the next part. So walking along this kind of wee, I think it's a lottery funded walkway, just along next the kind of side of Govan here. The Clyde behind me, some nice views over towards the kind of new flat that were built on site of a big old mill that used to stay there. I'm going to apologise right now for the audio quality. It may not be as good as it usually is. It's because I just lost the fluff off the wireless mic. It's a wee bit windy today, so you're probably going to get a wee bit of wind blowing over the microphone, so hopefully my onboard microphones are good enough to make this watchable. If not, apologies. I'm going to crack on since I'm right at the beginning of the walk almost, but hopefully we'll get a new one soon, fingers crossed. So it's now time to head underground. So I'm walking up the southbound tunnel, just because it was the closest one that I came to here. The Clyde Tunnel is made up of 2 tunnels that were completed. The first one was completed in 1963, and that was the northbound tunnel, and the southbound tunnel was finalised a year later. So quite interesting. Been down here a couple of times, cycled through it. It's a bit of a mammoth cycle when you're trying to go back up, but it's quite funky, kind of eerie place that not many people even go or would even consider going, but it's pretty safe. I know it's been open, what you've seen there, but it's usually a kind of buzzing in system, but it seems to be alright. That's me at the lowest point now. It's pretty dark and it's a bit wet down here. There's kind of a few kind of storage bits, or I'm guessing some sort of kind of utility doors down here, and you can also hear the cars above me here. It's pretty funky. Nice echo in here as well. Echo! That's me pretty much walking out the tunnel. That'll be the only ascent that I do all day today. And take a wee walk for it. And there we go. Outside again. So that's me onto the National Cycle Network path, which will take me pretty much to the end of the walk from here. It's a pretty straight walk. It snakes about a wee bit as we go along, but we pass a lot of the old railway infrastructure, lots of bridges and the odd old station as well. There's not generally much left of them, but I will show you what we can. So I found a spot of lunch. There was a nice wee old train station back there where I could sit on the platform and grab a bite to eat. Just to kind of give you some perspective about where I am just now, on my right hand side is Scotstoun Hill, and on the left hand side is South Street, and just beyond that's the River Clyde. You probably won't see a lot of the actual Clyde itself in this video from here on out, just purely because a lot of that is still used as shipyards and kind of for other industries as well. We'll get to it back to it a wee bit further along, but for now we'll be a good wee bit back from the river, going along this old railway line, which I think has maybe been the Caledonian and Dumbartonshire railway line at some point. If you actually know the name of what line it was, please leave a comment below, let us know. Always happy to be corrected. There is a few stations along here, which I'll try and have a wee look at. There's not much left. At the most you maybe get a railway platform or what's left of one, but that's about it. But it's still quite interesting, still quite nice. It's sunny, it is a wee bit windy today, but it's a very nice day for a walk. So not far to go now, still heading along the railway line here, past quite a few kind of former bridges, still some platforms kind of peeking out. Even actually saw some railway lines that hadn't been taken up yet, but with lockdown almost over, I think we've got about a month left at this point of recording here. I just can't wait to see mountains again, you know, mountains, and then maybe I can find a nice wee place to go for a rest, and I might even get a wee chance to finish off this book I started. Who knows? And that brings us to the end of our walk here at the Titan of Clydebank. This enormous crane that sits on the banks of the Clyde and has done for many years, and hopefully will for many years to come. It's now a visitor attraction and is certainly something worth going up and having a wee look at. I hope you've enjoyed the walk, and if you have, give us a wee subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.